Imagine waking up one morning and seeing headlines across the world. The United States and Israel attack oil facilities in Iran. Within minutes, financial markets freeze. Oil prices begin to rise. Governments call emergency meetings. And millions of people start asking the same question. Are we on the edge of a much larger war? An attack on oil depots in Iran by United States and Israel would not be just another military strike. It would be an event capable of changing the geopolitical balance of the entire world. To understand what could happen, we need to look at 4 dimensions: military, economic, political, and global. An attack like this would likely be fast and highly coordinated. The United States has enormous military capabilities in the region: aircraft carriers, strategic bombers, drones, and long-range missiles. Israel, on the other hand, has one of the most advanced air forces in the world and extensive experience in precision operations. The targets would likely be key energy infrastructure, refineries, storage depots, and export terminals. The strategic goal behind such an attack would be to weaken Iran economically. Oil is one of the pillars of its economy. Destroying part of that infrastructure could reduce its revenue and its ability to finance military programs or regional allies. But what happens after the strike would be far more important than the strike itself. It is almost certain that Iran would respond. Iran possesses one of the largest ballistic missile arsenals in the Middle East. Many of these missiles can reach targets hundreds or even thousands of kilometers away. The response could include attacks on U.S. military bases in the region, missile launches toward cities or strategic installations in Israel, drone or missile strikes against U.S. allies in the Gulf. Iran also maintains a network of allied armed groups across the region. One of the most well-known is Hezbollah, which operates mainly from Lebanon. This group has thousands of rockets and missiles that could be launched toward Israel in the event of escalation. There are also allied militias in Iraq and Syria that could attack American bases. This means a single strike could trigger multiple conflicts across different countries at the same time. One of the most critical energy choke points in the world is the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow waterway connects the Persian Gulf to the open ocean. Roughly 1/5 of the world's traded oil passes through it. Iran has repeatedly threatened to block this route if a major conflict breaks out. How could it do that? Placing naval mines, attacking oil tankers with missiles or drones, using armed fast attack boats. Even a temporary disruption could have massive consequences for the global economy. Energy markets react extremely quickly to geopolitical crises. If Iranian oil facilities were destroyed and shipping through the Strait of Hormuz became unsafe, oil prices could surge dramatically. A major increase in oil prices affects almost everything: gasoline, transportation, electricity, industrial production, food prices. In many countries, rising oil prices quickly translate into inflation. Governments would likely spend more money trying to stabilize their economies, while households would feel the effects in everyday life. Several Persian Gulf countries maintain close relations with the United States. One of the most important is Saudi Arabia, one of the world's largest oil exporters. If Iran attacked energy infrastructure in the region, these countries could become more directly involved in the conflict. That could expand the war across the entire Gulf region. Oil facilities, ports, and coastal cities could become targets. On the global stage, 2 major powers would play an important role: Russia and China. Both countries maintain strategic relationships with Iran. China is one of the largest buyers of Iranian oil, while Russia cooperates with Iran on several political and military issues. It is unlikely they would directly enter the war, but they could support Iran diplomatically, apply pressure in international organizations, increase military or technological cooperation. This would turn the conflict into a major global geopolitical crisis. An event like this would immediately be brought before the United Nations Security Council. Their countries would debate possible resolutions, sanctions, or calls for a ceasefire. However, the Security Council is often divided among major powers with different interests, making quick agreements difficult. In the meantime, the conflict on the ground could continue to escalate. The Middle East is already a region with deep historical tensions. An attack on Iran could ignite conflicts on several fronts. Israel fighting Iran-aligned groups. Militias in Iraq attacking U.S. forces. Indirect fighting in Syria. Attacks on ships in the Gulf. Each of these fronts could escalate independently. The region could enter a prolonged war lasting years. An attack by the United States and Israel on Iran's oil depots would be far more than a military operation. It could trigger a chain reaction affecting regional security, the global economy, relations between major world powers. The modern world is deeply interconnected. A conflict in a strategically important region can have consequences felt across every continent. That is why scenarios like this concern analysts and governments so deeply. Because in the fragile balance of global geopolitics, a single spark can ignite a much larger fire than anyone expected.